Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning. I'm Lafra Pusitasari, and in this video, I would like to roleplay as Ferdinand de Saussure. I will explain about what is the Ferdinand's theory and perspective about language as social fact. Let's check it out. Hello, my name is Ferdinand de Saussure. I was born in 1875 centuries in Geneva, France. Firstly, in the end of the 19th centuries, the equations of language with biological spaces have been abandoned. In these situations, it created a difficulty for the nations of linguistics in academic discipline. If language is not a living species, in what sense are things can be studied? Here, I define the notions of language as synchronic linguistics, the study of language as system existing that given the point at the time. In 1875, I read a book named Indo-European Theory, and in the end of 1890, I worked out the ideas of general linguistic theory. In the end of 1996, I was persuaded to take over a responsibility to teach a course on general linguistics and the history and the comparison of the Indo-European languages. In the first of these years, I limited to historical matters, but in the second time, I take an introduction which deal rather briefly to synchronic linguistics. I have two student college named Charles Bailey and Albert Secchier. They decided to reconstruct my theory on general linguistics from notes taken by the students together. The lecture's note had left behind. The theory finally published in book titled Course of Linguistics General. The book becomes known to the scholarly world. Therefore, people call me as father of 20th century linguistics. Language is related to synchronic and diachronic linguistics. Synchronic is analysis language function from the point of view who used it or the speaker used. Since the history of the language does not exist. For example, in English, abbreviated ch should be analyzed as units or combinations of t and ch. In fact, the historical ch has some distinct meaning of single word ka, had nothing to do with th and ch. For example, the word courage was originally identical to the Scott curve. Diachronic linguistics lack of systemic character compared to the synchronic linguistics. Both of diachronic and synchronic approach can be used in the standpoint of the participant from the outside. Meanwhile, if someone describes language from the standpoint of the speaker or from inside, they must describe the language or synchronic approach. Is why synchronic approach can be called as the language, because the language is value depend on directly or indirectly of the value of every other. For example, people say the word sheep is defined with French word moutons. For French, yes, it is the same, but in English there is contrast meaning. The word sheep such a contrast meaning with mouton. I view language as a system of signs. It composes of signifier, linguistic form, example words, and significance, the meaning of the verbs. It can be called a semiotic system. I define language as an example of the kind of entity which certain sociologists call social fact. Durkheim inspired me in linguistic theory. Emile Durkheim, the founder of sociology as the empirical discipline, proposed the notions of social fact in his rule of history of sociology method. He stated that the task of sociology was to study and describe the realism phenomena which distinct to the phenomena of the physical world, and the phenomena deals with psychology. He argued social fact as idea of the collective mind of society. The physical fact consists of parole, speaking, and lying. Parole are produced by individual speakers, and lying is not complete in the any speaker within collective. Therefore, I describe language as a product of collective mind of speak. Therefore, I describe language as a product of collective mind of linguistic group. I had major impact on development linguistic theory in 20th centuries with notions of structure linguistic. There are two components, first is parole and second is line. That's all the explanations from Ferdinand de Saussure theory about language as social fact. Hopefully you enjoy the video and thank you for watching. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.